Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gamansing. Topping our newscast tonight, St. Croix Board of Elections Chair Adelbert Bryan is taking the elections supervisor to court over the eligibility of Senator Alicia Hansen to run for office. This week, Bryan filed a petition in district court asking them to set aside Hansen's nomination papers and decide whether she should even be on the ballot. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
Former Senator and St. Croix Elections Board Chair Adelbert Bryan says Senator Alicia Hansen isn't eligible to seek re-election this year. Bryan objects to Hansen's filing of nomination petition papers to run in the upcoming election, and he's petitioning the court to pull those papers out from the stack and determine whether or not she's truly eligible to run for Senate. Bryan is basing his objection on the revised Organic Act of 1954, which doesn't allow any person who's been convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude to be a member of the VI legislature. Bryan says Hansen's 2009 convictions of 3 counts of willful failure to file taxes make her ineligible to hold public office, since those crimes involve moral turpitude. Senator Alicia Hansen was elected to the Senate in 2010 and again in 2012. Her eligibility came into question the second time around, but former election supervisor John Abramson Jr. determined she was qualified. In a May 7th letter to the election supervisor, Bryan urged Fox to do the proper due diligence for candidates vying for Senate. He said he could not sit idly by without challenging a candidate who was improperly vetted in 2010 and illegally sitting as a senator. Supervisor Fox told News 2 she can't comment because it's being handled by the Attorney General. Earlier this week, she told the Daily News that she had seen the petition and that there were no issues with Hansen's filing. Hansen was first challenged by the VI Action Group, and she responded with a legal defense of her own, citing similar cases of tax evasion and saying if the revised Organic Act of 1954 hadn't defined moral turpitude, then it's left up to interpretation. Erica Parsons, News 2.
Senator Alicia Hansen could not be reached for comment by News Time. The senator's office said she is currently out of the territory. Count on 2 to keep you updated. Following an injunction filed today by the Office of Collective Bargaining, 13 correction officers at the Youth Rehabilitation Center were ordered to return to work after staging a sick-out since May 20th. The job action began on Tuesday when officers on the 4 p.m. shift left early due to reported illness. Then several officers due to report for the 12 a.m. shift called out and did not report to work as well. Multiple officers for the 8 a.m. shift also called out sick. None of those officers have returned to work since Tuesday, and others did not report to work. The protest is believed to be connected to a grievance filed on April 24, 2014 by the Seafarers International Union against Human Services and the Bureau of Corrections relative to negotiated raises for the correctional officers that have not been given since 2010. The government has not approved salary increases for any unions government-wide for several years due to the fiscal shortfalls. Coverage at the facility during this job action has been maintained by an outstanding unit of correction officers. According to the report, correction officer supervisors as well as treatment, kitchen, and education staff. Human Services Commissioner Christopher Finch opposes the officers' attempt to disrupt services at YRC, and we will keep you updated on that as well. Lamorth Delva, a Haitian national, pleaded guilty today in federal district court to conspiracy to smuggle illegal aliens into the United States. On April 10, 2014, Delva, 46 years of age, was charged in a 10-count indictment, along with Desiul Montpremier and Roro Edore, who are all charged with unlawfully attempting to bring aliens into the U.S. According to the indictment, all 3 conspired with each other to smuggle illegal aliens into St. John. Edore was the captain of a vessel with approximately 33 passengers, most of them Haitian nationals. The U.S. Coast Guard spotted the vessel. The vessel ran aground as Edore attempted to flee and sank, resulting in the death of at least 8 individuals, including 4 children. 3 St. Thomas men will spend at least 3 years in jail. The trio were sentenced Thursday in federal court for their roles in a drug conspiracy that led to 85 kilograms of cocaine being seized. 37-year-old Ignacio Batiste John, Batiste Joseph was sentenced to 70 months of jail time and 5 years supervised release. 37-year-old Norberto James Breyer was given 40 months of prison time and 5 years supervised release, while 33-year-old Eldri Santos Guzman will spend 33 months in jail and 4 years supervised release. All three pled guilty to conspiracy to possess narcotics with intent to distribute last December. 43-year-old Rosemary Peltier was arrested on Thursday and charged with misappropriation of postal funds, embezzlement of government property, and false entries and reports of monies and securities. Peltier appeared in district court before District Court Judge Curtis Gomez and was released from custody after posting a $10,000 unsecured bond. According to the indictment filed in district court, Peltier, a 9-year veteran with the United States Postal Service, failed to remit in excess of $29,000 given to her by customers for the purchase of money orders from the U.S. Postal Service. Peltier faces a statutory maximum of not more than 10 years in prison for each offense. An off-duty police officer working private security for a Red Hook nightclub confiscated a fully loaded magazine and a firearm from a male patron around 3:30 a.m. near the Tootsie's nightclub. According to the preliminary police report, the officer observed a man who was later identified as 29-year-old Hollis Omari Anthony, known as Omari, with a loaded magazine in his possession. Police also located a loaded 9mm Luger handgun in his vehicle. Anthony was arrested and charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm and placed on a $25,000 bail. Well, due to a change in programming, News 2 will not air at the regular time of 7 p.m. on Memorial Day, Monday, but be sure to tune in for a special called Better to Be Human. The half-hour special brings attention to the life, challenges, joy, and self-empowerment of people with disabilities. It is an educational documentary that enlightens the USVI community about disability rights. Better to Be Human is produced by award-winning filmmaker Johanna Bermudez-Ruiz, Cane Bay Films, LLC, and Disability Rights Center of the USVI. News 2 returns 7 p.m. on Tuesday. The Memorial Day ceremony will be hosted by the Enrique Romero Nieves American Legion Post number 102 on St. Croix, the Patrick U. George American Legion Post 90 on St. Thomas. The traditional observance at the cemetery is scheduled on St. Croix at 9:30 a.m. at Basin Triangle, Christiansted, where a parade will start and move on to the Christiansted Cemetery for a graveside service. It will then continue on to the Christiansted waterfront, where a seaside service will be conducted and honors rendered. On St. Thomas, the ceremony will begin at 9:30 a.m. at the Western Cemetery number 1 with a graveside ceremony. Then the parade will move down Main Street to the Emil White Memorial for a seaside ceremony, then proceed to the Franklin D. Roosevelt Veterans Park for the official Memorial Day ceremony. Celebrations on St. John will include graves, decorations, and church service attendance. The theme of the parade is Honor and Remember, and all Virgin Isles residents, you're asked to join the nation at 3 p.m. by flying the American flag on Memorial Day to express appreciation to all veterans and current members of the armed forces. Also, the Virgin Islands National Guard 73rd Army Band announces its performance schedule in observance of the Memorial Day weekend. The band will perform for several Memorial Day concerts, starting at the Moravian Church at Noragata on St. Thomas. That's Saturday, May 24th at 6:30 p.m. On Sunday, May 25th at the Vern Richards Veterans Park on St. Croix from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Then on Monday, May 26th in the Memorial Day Parade and Ceremony in Christiansted. On Tuesday, May 27th, the members will perform community service at the St. Croix Central High School and the St. Croix Educational Complex to mentor students interested in a music profession and the military. Veterans Affairs Secretary Eric Shinseki took to the VA's website Thursday, vowing to do more for the nation's vets, but trust in Shinseki has been waning amid allegations some VA medical centers created phony waiting lists to hide long delays in treatment for veterans. In a CBS News poll, 45% of Americans surveyed said they think the VA secretary should step down. House Speaker John Boehner says he's considering calling for Shinseki to resign. President Obama's Deputy Chief of Staff, Rob Neighbors, met with the staff at the Phoenix Medical Facility, where as many as 40 vets may have died waiting for care. Keeping our eye on the economy, the best company to work for in the U.S. is Google. Glassdoor.com surveyed employees and ranked companies based on salary and benefits. Google was #1, followed by Costco and Facebook. Some of the perks employees bragged about: great stock options and free meals. It's the last day of trading before the long holiday weekend and the unofficial kickoff of the summer travel season. Here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all up. The Dow 63, Nasdaq 31, S&P 8. Coming up on News 2, what's all the buzz at the 7th Caribbean Beekeeping Congress and the 2nd Caribbean Beekeeping College? We'll tell you. Plus, a fundraiser is being held for 2 Virgin Islands youth who are in need of medical assistance. Can you help? Details. A fundraiser is being held for 2 Virgin Islands youth who are in need of medical assistance. Even though Shaquan Augustine and Sinai Thomas are not related, these 2 families have teamed up to urge the community to assist in any way possible. News2 Nika Robinson has details.
Bringing the community together to assist 2 youth in need of medical assistance are these families' #1 priority. Both Sinai Thomas and Shaquan Augustine needs your help.
Shaquan was born at 25 weeks, 1 pound 10 ounces. He had blood clot to the brains where it damaged his motor skills, where he cannot walk or talk.
In addition to medical assistance, 14-year-old Shaquan is in need of a hospital bed at home. He currently sleeps on a regular bed and tends to fall off due to its lack of railings for support.
He needs Insure Plus for his feedings. He also needs a sitting chair for the living room. He don't have anything to sit down on.
2-year-old Sinai Thomas has a medical diagnosis of cleft lip and bilateral facial.
Sinai was born with a cleft lip, but it took majority of her face, so she has to go to Miami to have a whole facial reconstruction.
Sinai and her family will be traveling to Miami Children's Hospital on June 13 for her next operation, which consists of lower eyelid reconstruction bilateral and possible cranial bone graft. The community is invited to a fundraising event on Sunday, June 1st for both Shaquan and Sinai here at the Jam Times nightclub on St. Croix. If you would like to make a contribution to the family of Shaquan and Sinai, feel free to contact Gosnell Matthew at 340-643-8900. Any contribution, large or small, is gratefully appreciated.
We're asking the community to please come out and help assist these children.
Shaniqua Robinson, News 2.
Again, that fundraising event is on Sunday, June 1st at the Jam Time nightclub on St. Croix, and it begins at 2 p.m. Well, it might not be an invasion of bees, but it is of the beekeepers. Nearly 100 bee handlers will be on St. Croix all next week for the annual Caribbean Bee Congress. It's the first time ever that it's being held in the Virgin Islands, and participants will be here from the U.S., England, and Eastern Caribbean, and even the VI to talk about sustaining beekeeping with small hive operations.
It culminates with a field trip to the island territory to see what is happening on the ground with beekeeping. So there'll be a field tour where we look at 2 apiaries. So people from all over the world are going to get an opportunity to see how we do beekeeping here. There's going to be a lot of information exchange. Then we transition to Thursday and Friday where we'll have the 2nd annual Caribbean Beekeeping College. That is more practical. In that there will be 2 tracks. An introductory track for people who are new to beekeeping, then there's going to be an advanced track for people who've been involved.
Looks like a whole lot of fun. Well, there will be a honey show and local vendors on site at UVI, and if people are interested, they can pay to attend the Bee Congress or the college or both. This Sunday will be the 7th annual Reef Jam at Rainbow Beach in Frederiksted, and that's a celebration that raises money to encourage conservation of the territory's reefs. There will be plenty of food and music, as well as lots of activities for the entire family. There will also be educational workshops. Reef Jam and St. Croix Environmental are teaming up again to bring the 4th annual Reef Rap, where high school students compete to win for the best original performance about saving the reefs. Proceeds go towards local education and conservation outreach. Well, if you sign up for Adelita Cancrone's 1st annual workout challenge coming up this weekend, you not only will be supporting the school, but creating history as well. Organizers say you will be involved in the largest workout session ever in the Virgin Islands. That's Sunday, May 25th at 4:30 p.m. Organizers say you don't have to be fit, just work at your own pace. Teresa Hodge is the fitness instructor.
This is Physical Education Month, and we wanted to see how many persons we could have working out at one time and have it like a VI record and try to break it every year. The challenge is to see how many persons we could have out there working out at the same time. The bigger the number, it's like something like a Guinness Book of Record, World Book of Record, but we're not going there. It's just we want to do the largest workout session ever in the Virgin Islands. And people would learn something from it and be able to go home and continue working out. There's a registration fee minimal of $1 for 18-year-olds and below, and over 18, it's $3 or any contribution you could make above that. So it's, it's up to you. And don't worry about registration, you can register on the day. We start at 4:30 in Croix's Quadrangle, so we're going to be in the school actually.
Delta Sigma Theta sorors are holding a huge retreat on Saturday. Robin Jacobs, who is the director for the Eastern region of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, is meeting with sorors on St. Thomas to share, fellowship, and more. She was welcomed at the Cyril E. King Airport on Thursday.
As you know, Delta Sigma Theta was founded in 1913 by 22 collegiate young ladies on the campus of Howard University. We do public service and operate under a 5-point programmatic thrust. We work here, and I am pleased to say that my appointed state coordinator, Vernell Delegard, has been holding down the fort here in St. Thomas. So we look forward to having a wonderful time here for this weekend for our retreat. Thank you for having us.
Congratulations to all the sorors. MAXI Priest is closing out the season of the Reichel Center's lineup of great world-class entertainment on Saturday, May 24th at 8 p.m. You can hear the reggae and R&B fusion sounds of MAXI Priest. You will not only hear the old favorites, but you'll get the opportunity to hear his brand new single, Easy to Love. MAXI Priest became one of the first international successes based in that genre. His song, Close to You, hit #1 on the American Billboard Top 100. Fans had the chance to enjoy MAXI Priest's world-class vocal skills in the stirring #1 duet with Roberta Flack, Set the Night to Music. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.